All right, so I have a story. Dad was visiting me when I lived in D.C. when me and Alice lived in Alexandria, Virginia. So in Alexandria, Virginia is George Washington's house or plantation, and it's his actual historic plantation, and it's restored, renovated. So you could go there, and me and Dad went there one day, and Alice stayed home, and just on a whim, we went. So over there they have actors, playing their parts and stuff like that. You go there and you'll see a blacksmith, and they'll be like fake blacksmiths, really doing their stuff,
Yeah.
but talking history mostly, so it's educational. So we went into this one room, and there's three women there, and they're kind of like 35-year-old women, a little overweight, whatever, but dressed like the old days, and they're on these like big, large, old-fashioned sewing machines. So we go there, and it's just another room, and I'm kind of bored. Dad's a little bored, but we go in there and we're listening to their story, and they just tell their historical facts to everybody that walks in. Pretty routine. So Dad's sitting there listening to this long story about some history of the women, and how they sew for the men, and they go out to war and blah blah blah. And Dad is kind of like sitting there with his hands behind his back, and he's listening patiently, and then he kind of looks down, and he gets this like twinkle in his eye, and almost like a little smirk, and then I'm just like, it's kind of weird, but whatever. So I'm like reading the wall, something on the wall or whatever, while she's talking to Dad. So Dad's really kind of starting to engage this woman in her story, and then so he's looking down, at this machine and looking at her, and then you can tell he wants to say something, but he's like waiting. So then he goes, "Is that what is that machine?" He interrupts her. She's telling about history, and he goes, "What is that machine called?" And she goes, "Oh, this is a blah 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 loom, whatever." She said, "Blah blah blah, made in 1890, blah blah blah." Some other facts going off, and he goes, "Bro, wait. Would you call that a spinster?" And then she goes, "Yeah, it's a spinster." And then blah blah blah. Anyway, blah blah blah. She's continuing on, and he kind of smiling a little more, and then he goes, "How old are you?" He interrupts her again. "How old are you?" And she's like, "I'm 30 something, and he goes, "Are you single?" And she goes, "Yes, I'm single." And then, so he goes, so she's trying to like continue on her story, and then he has a full on grin. And immediately I knew what was going to happen, and I'm just like, oh my God. So she continues telling the story, and then he goes, have you always been single? Like that. And then interrupts again, and this time she just stops, and she goes, breaks character and everything, and is like, yes.
So she breaks character out
Yeah,
of her,
yeah.
her being this 1800
I'm
period.
talking about 1800s, blah, blah, blah. And
So
she's like, yes,
so
talking about her personal life.
So she's answering to Dad directly?
Yeah,
like not
Dad.
the crowd?
Yeah.
Answering to Dad?
By then I was like, I was trying to disappear, because I knew what he was going to say. I was like, trying to blend into the wall. I was like, they didn't see me come in here close to him. Maybe they will think that I'm not really with him. So I'm like pretending to look somewhere else. And then, so he goes, finally, he says it, he goes, "So are you a spinster?" And then all the three women were watching, having eyes on this whole conversation by then,
They're waiting for her to answer.
And then I was just like, I'm just getting out of here. And I'm like, okay, let's just go. I was just like, forget it. I walked out, and then I was like, getting Dad, who's following me. And he was like, okay, bye, nice to meet you, saying some other bullshit, whatever you were saying, But I was like, okay, let's just go. Like,
Oh